Hey guys, this is Mateo. I'm the Guildmaster of Pathogen Gaming. This is a Hall of Trials run. This is going to be Triple S. Let's go ahead and get on into it. I'll explain a little bit of how this goes at the end of the video, and some team building strategies, things like that. Let's get it.
How futile. Disappear.
I'll accept your duel. I believe this is what the goddess wills. May these evils be punished.
Ridiculous. Burning hatred. A desire for revenge.
It's too late to back out now. I will guide you through the light. Give me strength.
Chaos walks with us. Chaos, destruction. There will be glory after all.
Now, bring it on. I thought this could be fun. Now I'm getting bored.
Leave it to me. Over here.
Let's advance together. Here. I'll show you what I've got. I believe this is what the goddess wills.
On my way. Come with us.
Don't be scared.
Back up. Shall we? Run before it's too late. I will guide you through the light. Please, save us.
Your torment excites me.
Let's start with something light.
Do you believe in me?
I'll accept your duel. Let's advance together. You pitiful being. Death is your repentance.
There will be glory after all. Fear my ass. Chaos walks with us. Chaos.
I believe this is what the goddess wills. Now, bring it on.
Leave it to me.
Spear of Laguna.
Bleed.
I will guide you through the light. Here.
I'm on my way.
Obey. Kneel.
I won't go easy on you. I'll show you what I've got.
Chaos. Come with us. God of chaos is enraged.
Don't be scared.
Let's advance together. My goddess. Run before it's too late.
Away with you.
Let's start with something light.
Ridiculous. Over here.
On my way.
Now, bring it on.
There will be glory after all. There is no escape. Chaos walks with us.
I will guide you through the light. My goddess. Grant me the power to extinguish the evil. I believe this is what the goddess wills.
Leave it to me.
Back up. Here I go. I'll accept your duel. I'm getting tired of you. Bye-bye now. Let's advance together. Give me strength.
Come with us.
Shall we? Run before it's too late.
Don't be scared.
I will guide you through the light. I'll show you what I've got. Let's advance together.
Do you believe in me?
Dragon Twilight.
There will be glory after all. Your torment excites me.
It's too late to back out now.
All right, guys. So as you can see,
Now,
the point total to get Triple S is 3.8 million. So I already have it here. So I mean, if there were some kind of you know, prize for getting the super high score, like there was a leaderboard or something, then you know I would obviously try to tune this a little bit better so that I can finish out, right? Because if you finish out the match, you get an extra 700,000 points. So you know, at this point, if I kill him here, I'm almost at 500,000. Because it'll be the 300,000 that he has, so 4.2 plus 700,000, so 4.9 million points off of this run here. And this isn't even my cleanest run, as you saw at the beginning, or maybe didn't. I only had one token left, so I used 4 before. So this is kind of where I am. This is probably going to be a high score if I do end up winning here. But this is what I put together for Triple S run, and I'll kind of break this down here as this is wrapping up. So, couple things.
guide you through the light.
KAYRON has a lot of HP in both forms, when he's weakened and when he's just standing here like this. So, Daydream Joker is going to be your best DPS artifact here. I have a Daydream Joker on both Chaos Sectax and Luna. The reason why I'm not running a third one is because it's been hit or miss for me whether I get the target debuff up. So having the Rosa Hargana on Bologna gives me that extra oomph to get that target up. I 100% want the 15% extra damage from target when he's weakened, because when he's weakened he goes down to 0 defense. And if you didn't know, like every unit in the game, even the slimes in 1-1 that we used to test, you know, multipliers on and whatnot, they have defense. So if you've ever run your numbers through, how do I put this? If you've ever run your numbers through the calculator or sim, the number against a 0 defense target is huge. So if you notice when he went weakened, I was hitting him for hundreds of thousands of points of damage, right? And that's because of that, because he has 0 defense. So anything that improves your damage by 1%, so target, remember he takes 50% more damage when he has unhealable on him. So if you noticed, I held Bologna's S3 until he was weakened, because if he gets unhealable on him, he takes 50% more damage. So when he's taking that 50% more damage, you don't want that 50% more damage when he's out here in this phase, when he has 300,000 health and he has the defense buff with the ads up and everything. You want him to take 50% more damage when he's weakened and he's being hit for hundreds and hundreds of thousands of damage. That's when you want that 50%. That's when you want the 3% from Joker. That's when you want the 15% from Target. So I held all those things and I don't use them until he's weakened. That's step number one. Step number two, well, I guess that's step number two. Step number one is you're putting Joker on everybody to give them the most DPS. So this is kind of like the way you craft your Wyvern 11 runs, is that you know, you want an attack buff if possible, you want defense break if possible, you want good dual attacks, right? So we'll get into the gear after this. So you want the dual attacks, because dual attacks, every time you take a move when he's weakened, he gains a little bit of that bar. So you know it's going up red now. That means he's getting berserk. He's getting stronger because it's taking us too long. We're losing here. I kind of gave up. I'm not really paying attention now. I've already hit triple S, hit my goal. But for this, so you want dual attack sets. If you have unity sets, that's great. I'm not wearing any right here. My first run I did, because kind of mixed results. I was kind of like, you know, wasn't really feeling it. But I'm pretty sure I could optimize this to get it, and we'll take a look at the battle results here. It's actually Chaos Axe. If you didn't see that coming, you probably saw a lot of dual attacks between Luna. She got a lot of max hit S1s, and then Bologna with the Rosa Hargana got a lot of the mileage out of the dual attacks. But it was Chaos Axe, man. So here's the thing: when KAYRON or the boss for Hall of Trials goes to the weakened state, they have no HP. They're at 1 HP. So units like Chaos Axe, whose damage scales with lost health of the enemy, oh, he wrecks shop here. I tried this with Lorena, tried this with Challenger Dominial, you know, another ML unit that you know really bangs out a lot of DPS. Tried Sirmia, you know, those units that you typically would use to do a lot of damage, but because his S1 and S2 scale with missing HP of the target, when the boss is in the weakened state, he's basically doing double damage. And none of my trials had these two even come remotely close. I tried it with Lulika. I thought maybe it's just the AoE from the ads, right? And so I tried Lulika. Lulika would one-shot the ads, and so it was just Chaos Axe single targeting the boss, and he was still miles ahead of everybody else. So that units like that, even Lorena's S3 is incredibly potent for that, right? So last thing I'll show you guys is the gear, and then we can go ahead and get on out of here. My gear isn't that spectacular. I didn't actually swap anything. I know it's free gear removal, but I didn't really, I just went in there, and this is a comp that worked for me, so I went ahead and did it. But this is the comp that I used anyway. So, you know, I could have changed some things around. So if you're wondering why my crit's low, it's because my Luna is, just show you this real quick. My Luna is triple S. So having Luna in the group does give me the 14.4% crit. I don't regret that. I used my Ancient Slates on Luna. I know there's probably going to be some amazing, not that they're said they're going to rework the imprints. I know there's going to be something massive coming out later, but I use her in PvP. I use her in PvP on offense. I use her in stuff like this. And I did swap something around because she doesn't have any effectiveness right now. But yeah, this is the gear I'm using. It's just a speed effectiveness set. This is what I have on both Bologna and Seaside Bologna. Other unit was Chaos Axe. He's using the free gear. These two pieces are from the Arena Season 2 attack set, but this is the free Adventurer's Path stuff. And then I can't remember where we got this, but I remember this was free too. It's from a login event or something. And this I did craft. I was proud of this until that last roll went into health instead of critical hit chance. Now, obviously, I could have tweaked this a little bit. I have too much crit. Remember, Luna's giving me 14.4%, so I'm actually over. I could trade this out for some more critical hit damage or some more attack, and I could be doing a lot more damage that way, right? So who else did I bring? Brought Luna. So I did swap her around a little bit. Because I honestly didn't care. I realized that I didn't care, and these are the modes, by the way. I have her S2 all the way up. and I have her S3 at 4, have her S1 at 2. I probably should mold this up a little bit more. I honestly didn't care if the defense break landed. So when the boss in the Hall of Trials goes into the weakened phase, they're at 0 armor. So it doesn't matter. So it literally doesn't matter if you land a defense break in the weakened state. So I just got rid of her effectiveness. I put a crit set on her, so she would be at 100% crit for this. Close to, yeah, she's 100% crit against the fire unit. She's not that fast. She's not as strong as my Chaos Axe, obviously, but she gets the job done. She's a good ice DPS unit. I was trying Lulika for a little bit. And again, it's just some throwaway gear. This is some stuff from Labyrinth. This is the Labyrinth neck and weapon. I crafted these 2 pieces just to get a 4-set destruction. I have her in destruction hit. So she's a good option as well. Lulika, she's defense break. She can AoE to clear the ads. She gains attack on her S3. She gets stronger. So her S1 also scales with lost health of the enemy, so she's really going to bang out a lot of damage on the weakened phase as well, just like Chaos Axe does on his S1 and S2. You see that increased damage dealt increases proportional to the amount of lost health. So those are pretty good. And then on the way down here, I'm using DN. So I use DN as my healer, my Soul Weaver, also as my attack buff, and that's literally all she's there for. Well, not literally all she's there for, but she's basically the attack buff. And then the cleanse on her S2 is just for unfortunate circumstances, right? So I'm running mostly ice units, but sometimes KAYRON does land that blind on you, so the S2 there is good there. But you should treat this like a DPS, like you do Wyvern 11, right? So the faster you clear Wyvern 11, the less heals you need, to the point where you don't need a heal. So she's primarily only there for that attack buff. And if I were able to clear it faster, to the point where the ads aren't hitting me, KAYRON's not getting his S3 off, then I wouldn't even need her healing. And then I could just swap her artifact, right? Then I could put on something else that would be a little bit better for the group. Maybe a card of small miracles, the extra attack from there. So that's my group. That's the run through. That's Triple S, guys. So some units, if you don't have these units, so here's what I would recommend. Like I said, for Chaos Axe, somebody that really bangs out during the weakness. Lulika is also like that. Lorena is like that. Every single one of us in the game, we have a Lorena. So Lorena would probably be my second choice if I didn't have Chaos Axe at plus 14 mullet already. I would definitely use Lorena, especially if you have her skill tree done, because that 25 to 50% CR she gains on S1 is going to be huge for her cycling turns. She gets extra dual attack chance from her skill tree, so she's going to be dual attacking more. She's going to give you a lot of damage. For the unhealable, if you don't have Seaside Bologna, haste works for unhealable. I'm trying to think who else. Sirmia works for unhealable. I'm trying to think who else is ice or fire or an ML unit. You probably know this better than I do, because I'm just trying to rattle this off the top of my head. But the unhealable is really big. Same for her having a target, but she is a ranger, so if you do have a Song of Stars, you can use that as well if you have it. If you don't, it'll be cycling through the powder shop at some point. It may be already in there. Maybe I should take a look. But so the powder shop will eventually cycle through there. If it's not in there, it's not in there. So you'll be able to get it. That 15% damage and then this plus 50% damage he takes from having unhealable on him is huge during the weakness phase. That's probably bigger than any of the units I brought. I probably could have had those 2 buffs in somewhere else, bring another ranger and bring a different person that brings unhealable, and then bring 3 completely different units, and this would still be Triple S. So if you don't have Luna, again, all Luna does is damage, because I stripped her effectiveness. I really didn't care if the defense break landed or not. So she's just a source of damage. Who else deals damage? That's ice. Alexa deals damage. That's ice. Again, Lulika, Seaside Bologna. I see people bringing Dizzy. I mean, we can go through my roster here. There's a lot of different units that you can bring that would satisfy that slot. There's nothing specific about Luna that goes into there. And I actually don't have a lot of ice DPS built for whatever reason. But that's a swing slot. Anybody can go in there. Like I said, Chaos Sectax, there's a free option in Lorena that can go into that slot. And for DN, it's anybody that gives you an AoE attack buff and somebody that can tank the hits. So at this point, because DN is not there to attack, she's not there to do damage, that could even be an Earth unit. That could be anybody that brings you attack buff that can go in that slot. And I'm not even convinced that the attack buff is all that great. It is great, but KAYRON dispels your attack buff with his AoE attack that spawns the ads. So you don't have it very often. I had full attack buff. I had 2 turns of attack buff going into the very first weakening phase, and I think I didn't have it going into the second, right? So I think he dispelled me the turn before, and I had to wait a turn to get it back up. So I'm not even getting the full value out of the attack buff. So essentially, whatever Soul Weaver or tank you want to bring, if you have Tamarin, that's great, because now you have better heals and you have the attack buff. But if you wanted to bring Hazel, that's another attack buff and a Soul Weaver you can bring up front, that's great. Hazel's a great replacement because, you know, I'm using DN here. You're like, well, I wasn't there for the DN event. I don't have DN. Go ahead, use Hazel. Go ahead, use Tamarin. So there's your options aren't limited there. And so that's please let me know what you think about that in the comments. Please like and subscribe. And if you like this kind of content, please let me know. I love doing these. I just decided to record this for my guild's sake because I'm on my last token. I used 4 already, and I've just been banging out triple S's. And so I just thought I'd share this with you guys. Hey, thanks a lot, and have a good one.